Hello, soil sorcerers. Welcome back to the channel where we dig deep into the mysteries beneath our feet. Today we're venturing into controversial territory with a concoction that sounds more like a kitchen experiment gone wrong than a legitimate soil amendment. I'm talking about the clay sugar milk serum, a mysterious elixir that's been whispered about in regenerative agriculture circles, and might just revolutionize how you think about feeding your garden. Before we dive in, I want you to set aside everything you think you know about conventional gardening because what we're exploring today challenges the status quo in the most beautiful way possible. Let's be honest about what's really happening in your garden right now. You've probably wrestled with compacted clay soil that refuses to drain, leaving your beloved plants drowning in waterlogged misery after every rainfall. Perhaps you've noticed that despite your faithful fertilizing routine, your vegetables lack vigor and your flowers bloom half-heartedly. The frustration builds when you realize that traditional solutions like commercial fertilizers provide only temporary relief, but fail to address the fundamental dysfunction happening at the microscopic level. Your soil isn't just dirt, it's actually a living ecosystem, and when that ecosystem collapses, no amount of synthetic nutrients will bring it back to life. The conventional approach treats symptoms rather than causes, creating a dependency cycle where you're constantly adding inputs without ever achieving true soil health. What your garden desperately needs isn't another bag of fertilizer but a complete biological revolution that awakens the dormant potential hiding in every handful of earth. When I first heard about combining clay sugar and milk as a soil amendment, my immediate reaction was skepticism bordering on disbelief. It sounds like something a medieval alchemist would concoct, not a serious gardening technique. However, the science behind this unlikely trio reveals a sophisticated understanding of soil microbiology that most gardeners never encounter. The sugar component, especially when you use unsulfured blackstrap molasses instead of just plain sugar, honestly serves as rocket fuel for beneficial soil microorganisms. These microscopic workers are the true architects of healthy soil and, honestly, they've been starving in your garden without you even realizing it. When you feed them simple carbohydrates, they spring into action, multiplying rapidly and starting the crucial work of nutrient cycling that transforms locked-up minerals into plant-available food. The milk portion of this serum introduces lactic acid bacteria, which are nature's original probiotics, directly into your soil ecosystem. These beneficial bacteria don't just coexist peacefully with other soil life, they actively suppress harmful pathogens that cause root diseases and plant decline. So, think of lactic acid bacteria as your garden's immune system, creating an environment where good organisms really thrive, while disease-causing fungi and bacteria just struggle to get established. The clay element, which is often already present in problematic garden soil, actually becomes an asset in this system, rather than an obstacle. Clay particles, despite their reputation for causing compaction, actually have an enormous surface area that provides habitat for microbial colonies and holds nutrients like a sponge. When you combine these three ingredients, you're not just adding amendments, you're orchestrating a biological awakening that transforms dead dirt into living soil. Creating your own clay sugar milk serum begins with understanding proper proportions and dilution. Start with 1 cup of milk, any type works, including powdered milk reconstituted with water, and combine it with 4 cups of clean water. To this diluted milk base, go ahead and add 3 tablespoons of unsulfured blackstrap molasses, stirring thoroughly until it's completely dissolved. The resulting liquid might look unimpressive, almost comically simple for something claiming transformative powers. But remember, the magic happens beneath the surface where billions of microbial workers are about to receive their marching orders. Application method matters significantly for achieving optimal results. Use this serum as a soil drench, pouring it directly onto the root zone of established plants or across entire garden beds that need rehabilitation. For struggling clay soils, focus applications in early spring before planting, and again in fall after harvest, allowing the microbial populations to establish themselves during periods when plant demands are lower. Within hours of application, the microbial feeding frenzy begins. Beneficial bacteria and fungi that have been surviving in dormancy suddenly have abundant energy to reproduce and expand their colonies. These organisms immediately begin secreting enzymes that break down organic matter and release bound nutrients, particularly phosphorus, which is notoriously unavailable in many soils despite being present in adequate quantities. Your garden deserves better than the conventional approach that's failed to deliver true vitality. This forbidden superfood for soil represents a return to working with nature's wisdom rather than against it. Try this method in a test bed, observe the changes, and prepare to question everything you thought you knew about growing food and flowers. If this technique transforms your garden like it has for countless others, subscribe to Soil Sorcery Studio and share your results in the comments. Together, we're building a community-driven movement that's rewriting the rules of regenerative gardening, one serum application at a time. Let's grow something extraordinary.